Brood.
Yeah, he's a Doom Brood ramp.
Well, I was talking with somebody yesterday, and the 4-color blue-based control deck that I had made that Jackie Lee was playing in to some success at the TCG event, they said, oh, you should call it not Dark America, you should call it South Korean Control, because their flag has all of the colors but green.
I think the Nephilim reference is just hilarious to me, so that's the one that I go to.
Right. Glint Eye. That is your non-white. I suppose if we're going to talk about what kind of Magic player I am a Glint Eye. No white for me, please. Yeah. Nicholas Spagnolo on turn 2. He's got 3 colors of mana. Adam Percy. Looks like turn 2 Farseek.
And Nicholas Spagnolo, this might be the first, in the standard portion today, this might be the first deck we've seen with 0 creatures. He's simply winning on the back of Jace, Architect of Thought, Sorin, Tameo, Jace, Memory Adept, and Nephilim Drownyard.
Yeah, one thing to look at with that Drownyard, if you look at his land on his deck list, the first land he wrote down, 4 Nephalia Drownyard. I don't think that was an accident.
Yep. It's the win condition. I suppose he does have 2 copies of Lingering Souls in his deck, but that's much more, I believe, a defensive element than something he's actually planning on winning the game with. So, an end of turn, Azorius Charm from Spagnolo is an opportunity for Percy to safely land his Restoration Angel on an otherwise empty board. And Nicholas has to be very happy about the pacing of the game right now. He's under no, immediate pressure. His opponent probably doesn't have a lot in the way of reach, and so he can take his time developing his mana. Although now, ignore all that, because here's Fulgenrath Aristocrat to turn the pressure up.
Let's see if Nicholas has any of the excellent answers there. We see Azorius Charm puts that Restoration Angel back on top. It means he's going to take 1 more damage, but the creature that's going to be coming back next turn will not have haste.
Yep. And there's Curse of Death's Hold.
Boom!
Which takes care of not only that Aristocrat, but any future Aristocrats. This is a card, Curse of Death's Hold, that I believe has been criminally underplayed over its time in Standard.
Yeah.
There's a lot of decks that struggle to beat 1.
It's exactly the number that Nicholas has. And again, I don't think it's an accident. He has the Curse of Death's Hold written in his Planeswalker slot. He's like, this thing does a lot of work over time. It's got several different abilities.
Yep.
Several being, yes, it's only -1/-1 to everything, but it's actually doing a lot of jobs for Nicholas.
Yeah, and this card is even when you're not just straight killing opposing creatures, it does a lot of work to protect your Planeswalker because you're subtracting attack off of your opponent's stuff. So
particularly when you look at 2 Jace Architect of Thought, they work really well in conjunction with Curse of Deathhold.
Yeah, they are a combo.
And Nicholas laying a 6th land here, 5 mana. Tameo is going to hold down somebody. Looks like it's the Huntmaster.
Yep. And Nicholas really exerting a ton of control over this game. He has a Jace 5 and Lingering Soul still in his hand, so no end of action.
And we see a Borderland Ranger from Adam Percy.
A little late to the party, I would say.
Gets a Funky Forest.
I believe that is an APAC forest. He's got all. It looks like he's got APAC basics. He's got the Kangaroo Plains.
You can see in his hand the Restoration Angel from earlier in the game, and an Ultimate Price, which has practically no application in this match.
Yep. Nicholas using the -power on Tameo to Divination there.
2 cards for Nicholas from that.
And hand is very land heavy, but he's got a lot of life to play with here.
Now remember, Nicholas is well aware that there's a Restoration Angel waiting in the wings. Lingering Souls. It's 2 1/1s.
Lingering Souls and Curse of Death's Hold also a combo.
Yep. 4 1/1s after a flashback. That removes it from the game. Nicholas takes care of that. We see the Restoration Angel creates an additional wolf by flashing out the Huntmaster. That die on the little wolf token is a 2, indicating 2 wolves. And now he has 1, 2, 3, 4 2-power creatures who have been shrunk down to 1/1s. And his 1 angel, currently a 2/3.
I'm assuming that we just have to send the turn back so we can flip Huntmaster and take out that Tameo before it gets another activation.
And that is exactly, it looks like what he's doing. He says pass, upkeep. He's like, hang on a second, don't go so fast. Flip, poke and shoot. That's going to be a redirect the damage from your head to your Tammy. Tammy dies. And another land for Nicholas Spagnolo.
Yeah.
This is unfortunate for him.
Yeah, it's insane how far ahead he was in this game, and he's just flooded out quite badly.
5 mana. Jace. I believe he's going to do a draw here and then mill for 1.
Yep. Needs to find...
Mills away an angel? I can't quite tell. I think that's an angel, but I'm not sure. The glare on it is pretty big.
And significantly for Adam, flipping that Huntmaster not only take care of the Tameo, but gives him a creature with trample, which is very important for getting some sort of pressure through these Lingering Souls tokens.
Absolutely. Now, Nicholas, off of the activation of the Jace, the +1 on the Jace Memory Adept, drew a Dissipate.
So we haven't heard a declaration here, but...
For those of you who are just joining us, I'm Adrian Sullivan here with Patrick Sullivan, and this is SCG Live. You are watching round 12 of the Star City Games Open Series featuring the Invitational here in Los Angeles. You see a massive attack here. All kinds of Lingering Souls tokens are hopping in front of a Huntmaster of the Fells. That means that there's only going to be 2 tokens there to try to stop a 3/3 Huntmaster of the Fells. Jace Memory Adept gets a little bit of a knock to the head, and... I think we're going to see... Yep, Jace still lives, though. There was not much of an attack on that as I'd like. Mill you for 1, draw 1, says Nicholas. Finally draw some action.
There we go. And not just any action, though. Sphinx's Revelation, the ultimate action. I mean, Adam's going to, finish off the Jace here and knock Nicholas down a little bit, but that Revelation is going to be for 6.
Now, Adam appears to be playing around the possibility of an Azorius. Nope, never mind. He looked like he was going to hold back the Huntmaster because he might want it out for some reason. But I agree with going all in, so that's a much better play in my mind.
No reason not to just attack for the maximum out. You can see the Falcon Wrath Aristocrat in Adam's hand stranded because of the Curse of Death's Hold. Looks like Adam went straight at Nicholas.
And 6 cards. 1 short of needing to add an anti-card in. Draw. Quick check for Terminus. No miracle.
Now, Nicholas sitting up in his chair, mulling over his multitude of options.
It's amazing how that happens. You draw these cards and suddenly you can do something.
It's like the game started again. You got a fresh hand. You got to reevaluate everything.
Draws another land off of Jace. At least he's not having to draw them during his regular draw phase.
So the big question is if we have a Supreme Verdict here, that basically just ices it.
Yeah, I don't think I see one, though. I see a lot of lands. I see him getting ready to discard.
Setting up his lands to Drown Yard,
I think. That is 4 mana for a Drown Yard. Pay attention, if you are a control player who struggles with draws, to Nicholas's play. What has he done here? He has set up a Drown ability, in essence. Are we going to see a... Okay, there's a Sorin.
The Lord of Innistrad.
He plays very quickly. Now, it can take practice to get up to this level of speed, but it's worth getting in the habit so you don't draw yourself out again and again on control matchups.
Yeah, most of the matches that you end up drawing are matches that you would have won with more time.
Absolutely. Now, if you're like me, when you play fast, you're going to make mistakes. But sometimes it's better to make a mistake than to lose on time. We see a Detention Sphere, take out the Angel. And lots of cards. He's ready to discard, and it's lands. The Huntmaster flips back over. Another wolf to the party.
Fairly anemic. Again, Curse of Death's Hold, blocking out a lot of action.
That is a total of 5 2/2 creatures in play for Adam Percy. Or is it 6 now? Oh, no, 5. And they're going to be shrunk down to 1/1 because of that Curse of Death's Hold.
Yeah, that card, even with Nicholas flooding out pretty badly prior to that Sphinx's Revelation, it's bought him so much time.
Yeah. Now, if Adam Percy goes all in, nope, it looks like he's going to pass.
Yeah, I assume we were trying to get our Huntmaster to flip again, but Nicholas with a think twice at the end of the turn to
No way.
prevent Knight from falling.
One of the cool mechanics from Innistrad. One of the many cool ideas in Innistrad. See another vampire come out. Nicholas assembling essentially a small fortress here.
Just trying to shield up against the... And now we're ready to start.
Boom. Take 10 cards away, sir.
Yep. Nicholas shifting gears now with the board held down. Instead of just drawing more cards, he's actually trying to end the game quickly. Again, you know, alluding back to what you said about trying to actually have your pace of play be appropriate, you know.
Part of it is not messing around with the kill.
Yep.
And Huntmaster becomes Ravager, eats a vampire, and then does 2 damage. I think it might have been redirected to Nicholas's face.
Yep. I mean, when Adam made that alpha strike a while ago and ignored Jace, to me that signals that he's just trying to close the game out this way.
We're going to see an Azorius Charm draw out, I think, here on the Ravager of the Fells. There it is. Flippy, flippy. And remember, the Nephalia Drownyard there is going to make sure that he never even sees it.
Sort of a combo. So it looks like 2 damage is coming across.
3 damage?
3, sorry.
Yep. The different wolf tokens. And we see, after combat, Thragtusk join the mix.
Yep.
Thragtusk pretty formidable, even with the Curse of Death's holdout there. And I believe Nicholas Spagnolo has a Dissipate in hand. There it is at the top of his grip. Trying to decide whether or not that Thragtusk matters.
Hard to imagine him playing a more meaningful card.
Adam Percy does have Kessig Wolfruns in his deck. So remember, these big bodies can become particularly relevant with not much help.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Dissipate.
It is Dissipate worthy.
And a Huntmaster does not seem particularly frightening to me. Another 1/1 and another 1/1. That's 4 wolves in play if you're having trouble checking out that count there. End of the turn, we're going to see a Drown, I'm betting. Drown. Drowns himself.
No,
looking for a Think Twice?
We're flashing Think Twice, I think.
Oh, okay. There was a Think Twice in the yard? Yeah. And then he gets one from the hand, getting a Sphinx's Revelation. Oh, boy. And I believe that's a second Jace, this time Architect of Wills, which Nicholas will not be so foolish as to cast, seeing as he has Jace Memory Adept in play. Mill for 10. We see a quick...
just double check.
Only a small handful of cards left for Adam Percy.
It's not actually clear if does Nicholas have any counters left in his hand? I mean, is he exposed to Bonfire right now?
He might be. But he does have a Sphinx's Revelation in his hand now.
Oh, well then no. No, he's not.
If you look at that, here he is. He's set aside 3 land over there on the edge. And in comes the team. A flipped Huntmaster and 4 wolves represents 7 damage. And Nicholas says, I'm going to leave some mana open for a Dissipate potentially. Oh, never mind. I don't care. Oh, no Dissipate potentially. Yeah, there we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cards?
Sure. That's fine.
That negates nearly all of that attack.
It's fairly, I think it's very challenging for these more board control oriented decks to fight Sphinx's Revelation and Supreme Verdict. It seems like a very uphill battle.
Yeah. Without a Kessig Wolfrun in play, it feels pretty fruitless.
Yes.
And Adam Percy passes the turn. Nicholas.
Sure.
A miracle. I don't know that he needed it, but he'll take it. One card to the bottom. The rest try to go there and end up in the in the RFG area.
Now we're definitely totally in the clear now.
And Nicholas makes a vampire, brings up to Sorin to 7. The spotter makes that a better die for us. Nicholas uses Jace to just destroy the top of Adam's library. And then with the Nephalia Drown Yards in play, he's going to be able to finish this game in the last couple moments. Ooh, there we go. Restoration Angel represents a potential real threat.
But
A Kessig Wolf Run, a Bonfire for some large number. Thundermaw, that's pretty solid. You got an answer for this? It looks like he's got plenty. I think I see
a Revelation and a Dissipate, and yeah, I mean...
Boom. And Adam's like, that's all she wrote.
Yep. So it was looking actually a little dicey there in the mid-game when Spagnolo was flooding out, but then Revelation made that not matter all that much.
That's the look at that expression from Nicholas. He's pretty happy to speak with whomever it was that he's had there. Yeah, when you flood out and you aren't dead, that top deck Sphinx's Revelation ends up feeling so absurd because all of that mana is put to good use and you're certain to find fuel afterwards.
Yeah.
If we go to the sideboards, Adam Percy has to have expected this matchup. We see 3 Slaughter Games as a part of what is likely to come on in. Slaughter Games' role in this, the first one nearly always is going to be to say, let no Sphinx's Revelations happen.
Yeah. Once he actually gets Sphinx's Revelation out of Spagnolo's deck, he might be able to sort of play with him pound for pound, actually pushing the game out. Because he's got plenty of good threats. He's got some reach with cards like Thundermaw, Hellkite, and Bonfire of the Damned. But Sphinx's Revelation puts so much pressure on him to win the game quickly. And with that out of the question, he can actually maybe win a game that drags out a little bit longer.
Yeah. Also in the mix, there are 2 Dreadbores in Adam Percy's sideboard. And Adam saw a Tameo, saw a Sorin, saw a Jace Memory Adept, and I'm not sure, but did he also see a Jace Architect of Thought?
It may have been discarded or accidentally flipped over or something, but yeah, certainly Spagnolo has represented no end of Planeswalkers.
Yeah, I mean, right there, I would certainly make an easy swap of 2 Ultimate Price for 2 Dreadbore.
It seems like an upgrade.
Dreadbore, a card that really had a lot of people excited when it was printed, but has not really seen much play in the latter portions of the format. It's usually a sideboard card, usually in the 2 copies, sometimes 3 for people that really care about Planeswalkers.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen this metagame has actually been fairly Planeswalker light, I would say, relative to previous standard formats. And because of the beatdown decks playing cards like Falkenrath Aristocrat and Thundermaw Hellkite, sorcery speed answers are a huge opportunity cost when you're trying to fight those creatures. And so Dreadbore certainly is a powerful card, and I'm sure it's going to have its day in the sun in Standard throughout the life of the card. But right now, it's just not a lot of stuff to fight.
I mean, a good card is not a good card except for in context.
Yeah, but certainly if decks like Spagnolo's become more popular, you'll start seeing main deck Dreadbores. It's not an unreasonable card to put in your main deck, but with the beatdown decks the way they are now, you can't just take 5 from Thundermaw Hellkite. You just can't take 4 from Falkenrath Aristocrat. You need to be able to answer those cards that turn.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that is actually one of the big limiting factors of the format, is the discovery by the red players and the black players that they can actually go over the top of Thragtusk with massive, hasty flyers.
All right, Percy taking a mulligan. Spagnolo looks like he's keeping. Oh, yeah. If you had told me, you know, when Return to Ravnica first hit, that Ultimate Price would be a no-question main deck card, and Dreadbore in red-black decks would be maybe in your sideboard, maybe not, maybe don't have it at all, that would have been questionable to me. But clearly the format's in the place where Ultimate Price main is not even questioned.
For those of you who are just joining us, I'm Adrian Sullivan here with Patrick Sullivan. We're in a match in progress, the final round of Standard in the Invitational. Nicholas Spagnolo on the left with Esper Planeswalkers, Adam Percy with a 4-color mid-range deck.
And a Farseek and a Kessig Wolf Run from Adam. Wolf Run feels to me, I'm not that nuanced with this matchup, but feels to me it's like it's very important because it just knocks out the Lingering Souls defenses. It makes it much more likely to be able to attack into Planeswalkers. Sorin's less adept at defending itself, and so on. So Even though Adam mulliganed, I feel like he's off to a much better start this game because he has Keswick Wolf Run.
Nicholas immediately kills the Avacyn's Pilgrim, essentially just trying to keep Adam Percy from having a turn 3 Thragtusk.
Yeah, and especially since, Adam has both Aristocrat and Huntmaster Fells, it's possible the threat that he's ramping into can't even be killed by ultimate price. So you might as well get rid of the mana creature right now.
And here we see a 5th mana from Adam Percy. He passes, leaving a Restoration Angel as his potential attacker. Is that a negate? Did I just see a negate enter into Nicholas Spagnolo's hand?
I believe
he does have
so.
them in the board.
Yep. He also has another Supreme Verdict and another Terminus, which I imagine were brought in for this matchup. And yeah, I'm a little surprised to see negate here since Adam's deck is awfully spell light.
I mean, he could be thinking about negate since they don't have each other's deck lists. I mean, a Garruk Primal Hunter would be a scary card to face down.
Yeah, Garruk is certainly I would imagine one of the better cards against Spagnolo's deck.
Vampire on the Cavern of Souls, letting the Aristocrat be unmolested by any kind of counter magic. In comes an Angel and a Vampire. Dogs and cats working together, oh my. Okay.
I wonder if we're going to see the same sequence we saw last game, which was Azorius Charm on the Restoration Angel, leading into Curse of Death's Hold.
Would have to come off the top, but that's okay.
Terminus is not bad. Although if I'm Adam, I'm actually somewhat relieved that it's that and not Curse of Death's Hold.
And 4 mana. Jace, are we going to see the Factor Fiction or the minus? He goes with the minus. This ability, that's the +1 ability. The attacking creatures trigger a -1/-0. Huntmaster of the Fells from Adam Percy.
Hand is just Restoration Angel now, but again, he still has that Wolf Run.
And Nicholas Spagnolo. I think we're going to see the Factor Fiction ability. Choose 3 of these cards. Reveal 3 of these cards. Split them. I will choose the pile I want. Classic Solomon decision for those of you who like to have the terms for these things.
So,
which do you choose? Do you choose Sorin? That's what Nick chooses, letting the dissipate and the land go away. Drops the Sorin, I believe. There it is. And he's going to create a vampire. He's got mana open for his Azorius Charm in hand.
And I have a feeling this Azorius Charm is going to be a huge beating because Adam is going to use Wolf Run plus an attacker to try to take out one of the Planeswalkers and then get it set on top of his deck.
I mean, like, Adam's also in a kind of a damned if you do, damned if you don't situation. His Huntmaster is immune to the price, to the ultimate price, but it's also a card he doesn't want to see die. And the Wolf is not immune to that and is also particularly weak to an Azorius Charm. So, I mean, whichever way he goes, it's a dangerous question for him.
Yeah. Spagnolo doing a very good job of grinding this game down. Now, Adam may not even want to use his Keswick Wolf Run. He might be happy just to send and leave up his Restoration Angel mana.
And we see that Nicholas is allowing the Wolf. He's going to prevent the Wolf from attacking Jace. And the Huntmaster is going wherever it's heading. I can't quite tell. We're going to see an activation of the Keswick Wolf Run, it looks like. Trample +1. He goes all in.
Yeah, and there's a Azorius Charm there, which is a huge beating for Adam.
Boom.
Part of me wonders if he would have been better just send his 2 creatures at Jace, don't use the Wolf Run, and then you can just finish off Jace if your Huntmaster flips, and if Nicholas ever tries to ultimate price or Azorius Charm, you have your Restoration Angel at the ready to reset.
Yeah, now we have it looks like a dispute between who was being targeted by the Keswick Wolf Run, and I think we're going to see the judge be brought into this.
Yeah, I think
Nicholas believes that Adam was targeting the Huntmaster.
Right.
And Adam was like, no, I was targeting the Wolf.
Right, this is obviously a big deal for Nick, because if he just Azorius Charms a Huntmaster of the Fells, which is not awesome because you get to reset the comes into play trigger, he's going to lose his Jace.
Okay, the block was declared, so that's got to stay. We already have the block declared. So that Wolf and Vampire are going to be facing off. And then he says, oh, I'm going to actually hit that. Okay, so now what we have is the Huntmaster hitting for 2. The Vampire still in play. There we go. That, I think, is the proper resolution. Yeah. And we get a draw. Jace, -2 ability. Split these 3 cards.
You get...
Huh. Well, I'll take 2.
Yeah.
He's like, why is your vampire still there? Because it blocked the other guy.
Yeah.
Remember? And we see the duels. Nicholas takes the duels. That's Glacial Fortress, Glacial Fortress. Newfangled duels, to be sure.
Yes.
Not real.
Some fake duels.
Doubly fake. And that hand is land, negate.
Yep.
Not exciting. And Huntmaster flips. This is a rough moment. Remember, there is still a Kessig Wolf run in play.
Yep. Adam's going to be able to take out. We know because he has no. Because Spagnolo has no action in his hand that matters. If Adam wants to, we can actually take out both planeswalkers this turn.
Yeah. And Nicholas has no reason to block here because he can't stop it.
And Adam, he can just. Yeah, I like this.
Borderland Ranger. There we go.
Yeah, I like Borderland Ranger here because he can get a 4th land, still have his Restoration mana up, and try to keep pressuring Nicholas adding to his board.
And casting a Borderland Ranger feels so good. I mean, yes, if you have it killed, you're down a creature, but you're not down a card because it's replaced itself with a land.
And Spagnolo's just drawn another copy of Negate.
I wonder if he's regretting those negates right now.
Yeah, I can't imagine they're going to be in the next game.
And the Restoration Angel resets the Huntmaster, creating another wolf. Now we see a small army here of 9 damage, plus the Kessig Wolf run. In comes the team. Nicholas chump blocks the Huntmaster. All in, says Adam Percy. I believe that's a +4/+0, and it's going to a wolf. Oh, I don't know about that. I would have put it on the Borderland Ranger if I was going to put it on anything.
Trying to think what would be the reason to target the wolf.
Nicholas doesn't have anything, so it doesn't particularly matter. This draw phase matters a lot. And the Huntmaster flips to a Ravager. And that's land.
Yep. So Adam off of his mulligan. Still able to take it down on the back of Spagnolo, flooding out a bit and drawing a bunch of negates that couldn't negate anything because Adam never really cast a spell besides Farseek.
Right. So this is the second time we've had Nicholas Spagnolo under the camera playing this deck this weekend. He also was under the camera yesterday, where he played against a mono red build from Ryan Overturf. Very, very well played game that he won, or match that he won 2-0. And I'd like you to note, I've already talked about this once or twice this match, and I talked about it yesterday. This is game 3 for a slow, milling variety of deck. It kills with Nephalia Drownyard. And there is 30 minutes left.
Yeah, Spagnolo is playing very efficiently, making his decisions quickly, not taking a lot of time, mulling over decisions he kind of already knows the answer to.
Yep.
The pace of play he's been demonstrating so far has been very good.
Yeah, I was talking about this particular phenomena with Bob Maher just the other day, and he was talking about the old days where he was playing an old school deck with icy manipulators and, basically a very slow kill. And somebody was watching one of his friends, and his friend was freaking out. He was like, I can't believe how badly you played that match. You didn't tap his land on his turn, blah, blah, blah. And Bob, telling me this anecdote, was like, I know I wasn't playing right, but did you see how much time was left? Every time that I would tap a land, he might respond. That could eat up like 12 seconds here, 12 seconds there, and it didn't matter.
Yeah.
A lot of times, and this is just the sad truth of Magic, a small mistake, like let's say discarding the wrong land, just doesn't matter. So if you're in a slow deck where you might end up going to time, you've really got to weigh the possibilities of, well, what are the costs of playing a little sloppier to get the speed in?
Right.
Now, to be fair, it's better to play Perfect Magic, but not if you run out of time every time. And who amongst us plays Perfect Magic?
I don't know. Yeah.
I don't think I've met anybody yet.
No, I don't think so.
I've heard people claim they play Perfect Magic.
All the time.
Yeah, I played it completely right. Here we go, land versus land. No mulligans on either side. Nicholas Spagnolo on the play. Turn 2 land go. Turn 2 Cavern into Farseek. Cavern, will tell you what that's on as soon as we know. On Beast. Nicholas with a Dissipate available now. Swamp. Is that a beta swamp?
Yes. It's Alva or Beta.
And then underneath it, is that a Urza's Island?
Tempest.
Tempest, that's it. Thank you. Dreadbore in Adam Percy's hand. Huntmaster in his hand. Farseek, he's going slow.
Yeah, he's not willing to play that Huntmaster into a potential Dissipate or other sort of counter. He just wants to get to his 5th mana because his Thragtusks are very well protected. He has Cavern.
Yep.
If, Nicholas wants to use a sweeper on it, that's clearly fine.
Azorius Charm goes away. Good play, I think, by Nicholas. Those cards are only really there because you have to have them. 4 mana, Jace. And he goes flipsies immediately on it. Ultimate Price, Supreme Verdict, and the Sphere, the Tension Sphere. I like the 2-pile.
Yeah, I mean, against a deck like Adam's, a Detention Sphere and a Wrath are often going to be the same thing because he has one threat that matters a lot.
Holy. Oh, is that 3 Thragtusks in Adam Percy's hand?
Yes.
Oh my god.
3 Thragtusks, a Dreadbore, and a Huntmaster.
I don't think Nicholas is going to be able to kill Adam with damage this game.
He's going to have to find a backup plan.
Well, we'll have to figure out what that's going to be as spectators. If you happen to know out there, join the conversation. Hashtag SCGINVI at SCG Live. Remember, Twitter is a great place to get involved in the conversation about Magic here for this invitational weekend.
So Adam eschewing playing one of the Thragtusks. Instead decides to go with a Dreadbore on Jace and plays his Huntmaster.
And I like this play a lot, actually. It means he's always going to make sure that those Thragtusks resolve unless a Ghost Quarter happens. And getting that Huntmaster out is yet a little bit more pressure.
It's also just, and there's a Supreme Verdict. And there's also a huge risk if he goes, just plays Thragtusk, and Nicholas has Tameo, then all of a sudden, it's just, now you have to play into the Supreme Verdict. Now, Nicholas is starting to just pull ahead on resources. So that play by Adam is much better at protecting him against the Planeswalkers he's aware of.
It's 27-20 right now. Thragtusk comes on in, 27-15.
Spagnolo just passing. I assume we're going to be seeing a Revelation for 2 here. Yes.
Yeah, don't be afraid to do Revelations for a small number.
Yeah, he needs to keep hitting his land drops here.
And there's another one in hand. There's a Verdict.
I'm surprised that Adam wasn't willing to add his 2nd Thragtusk to the board. I mean, I know he's aware of Detention Sphere, but what are we waiting?
He might be being a little too cautious there.
What are we waiting for here? We gotta. You can't let Spagnolo get these turns, these free passes. All right, there's a Terminus. We're gonna get a Beast, and I assume we're gonna be making a Thragtusk next turn. Oh, and we just drew a Slaughter Games. I'm curious to see if we're gonna Slaughter Games here instead of.
Whoa, that is a beast.
With 2 Thragtusks in hand, I'm actually pretty happy to. All right, we're gonna Thragtusk.
Okay. 30 to.
Another Terminus.
Oh, nice. That is a beast right there. Another one. Nicholas Spagnolo with a Hallowed Fountain, Curse of Death's Hold, Dissipate, Sphinx's Revelation, Detention Sphere, lays the land, passes.
I wonder if we're going to see another Baby Revelation here.
In with the Beast.
Nicholas has got so many sweepers, he might be able to prioritize his Revelations a little bit lower. But we're just going to Drown Yard instead.
Drown you. Land, and I cannot tell. The glare there got me a little bit. Land, Alison's Pilgrim, Olivia, maybe?
Yeah, that looks right. Or maybe Aristocrat?
Yeah, I can't quite tell with the glare. And we have a Swamp. Going to probably add itself to the table. Nicholas is capable of creating a Revelations potentially for 5 if he does nothing else next turn.
Yeah. He's I mean, it's a pretty big hit to take, and he's got so many cards in his hand that he might end up having to discard a lot of that action anyway. But The reactive elements in his hand aren't terribly efficient. He can, Detention Sphere, Supreme Verdict. He can Detention Sphere something and play Curse of Death Hold. All right, he's going to cast Supreme Verdict. And say go with Dissipate in hand.
And this is going to be an opportunity for Adam to get that Slaughter Games off. Can he cast an Aristocrat and a Games?
No,
I think
he's
one
on
shy.
7 mana, which is what is Master. I assume we're gonna Dissipate here.
I really would have liked to have seen that Slaughter Games cast sooner.
Yeah, I mean we obviously have the benefit of seeing
Nicholas's
hand, but there's a huge risk here, right? Like you actually have between Aristocrat and your Huntmaster there, you actually have the ability to attrition this game out, assuming that, and there's a big revelation now for 5. He could, if Sphinx's Revelation is no longer in the deck, Adam can actually reasonably trade 1 for 1 for the rest of the game and still get into shots. And now there might not be any coming back from this revelation.
I mean, because when you cast the Slaughter Games, it's only the third Revelations or whatever. You still would have to name Revelations, I think.
Yeah.
Because you can't let any more happen.
Right.
And it's done its damage. Yeah.
And now Spagnolo is, he's trying to move to discard here, but he's got Cyclonic Rift in hand. He's got...
Oh, Cyclonic Rift is so good against these beasts.
So we have land number 8 here.
Slaughter Games.
So we're going to Slaughter Games first.
Can't be countered. What are you going to do about it? I think he says, yep. What does it name?
And Spagnolo shows a hand of just all awesomes. 2 Azorius Charms, a Cyclonic Rift, a Think Twice, a Curse, a Detention Sphere.
Adam Percy with 1 card in hand.
Did he name Dissipate, it looks like? Because he just RFG to Dissipate. So maybe his plan was like just go for the kill this turn. Dissipate being the card most likely to stop it, but now, with Cyclonic Rift and 2 Azorius Charms, forget about it. We can't do that anymore.
Yeah. Dissipate. All 2 copies out of there. Yeah,
now what are we getting? We can't even... Alright, now I assume we're just going to get Cyclonic Rifted, maybe?
I actually wouldn't even mind...
Not even Rift. I guess you just can put... You can Azorius... Because you can Azorius Charm, the token, and the Restoration Angel, and then... Alright, we're just going to Rift. I was thinking about letting the Aristocrat go through because we can Curse a Death Hold next turn, but he can just Cyclonic Rift this, now play Curse, don't have to worry about Aristocrat for the rest of the game. And look at the speed with which Spagnolo is playing. He's definitely conscious of time.
Yeah, and now he's conscious of time with 18 minutes left. Now, he might have tapped the wrong land there, but it's better to play like he's playing.
Right.
Yeah, I'm really pleased watching him play. This makes me happy. I'm thinking of, for all of you old school people that might be out there, Dan Clegg in this situation might be playing a little differently. Can think of some other names. If you're out there, Dave Humphreys from R&D, I can see you playing this a little differently.
He sped up towards the end of his Magic playing career. We played a match in Columbus where he was actually, like 2004, where he actually was not a glacier, as opposed to some other matches I had seen in my life.
And Jace comes down, land, Drownyard. It's going to be Drownyard or no.
I assume since we're pretty close to discarding, we'll just take the Drownyard and start to turn it on.
Yep. Yeah, actually, I do think that there was a brief period of time where Dave Humphreys was the best player in the game.
Yes.
And we have Restoration Angel in at the Jace.
Also my former boss.
Azorius Charm knocks the Restoration Angel to the top. Nephalia Drownyard drowns the angel. It's kind of a funny image.
Yes. And now Spagnolo in complete control. A hand of just removal.
Is that a Forbidden Alchemy?
Yep.
And look at this. One of the things he's doing, it's Adam Percy's turn, and Nick Spagnolo is arranging his lands. This is the kind of things you need to do if you're playing a deck like this. Arrange your lands. Look, there's a drown, there's a drown. He's ready.
Yes. A Forbidden Alchemy.
Second curse.
Yeah, just looking at 3 totally insane cards. He's taking a second Curse of Death's Hold. And when your opponent Forbidden Alchemy is on turn 20 and does not take Sphinx's Revelation, it's probably a sign you're in some serious trouble.
Yeah. Double drown from Nicholas Spagnolo.
Now we can just use Jace's plus ability plus a second curse. So now the Restoration Angel's attacking for 0.
Yep. As long as Nicholas remembers to activate the trigger.
Yes.
Curses. Adam Percy, 3 cards in hand. 2 anemic aristocrats, another Restoration Angel, none of whom can do anything.
Yeah, the only draw that he has in his deck, and we see a negate, and that locks up Bonfire of the Damned. And with the Azorius Charm in hand, we have coverage against Keswick Wolf Run off the top. So now I think Adam is actually drawing at 0%. I think Nicholas has it completely locked up.
Looking at the sideboard, the only thing that I can see happening here is Nicholas Spagnolo like losing his mind and starting to mill himself.
Well, we found the Slaughter Games here. Can we Slaughter Games negate and then have running Bonfire the Damned draws?
There we go. There we go. That's an out.
Yeah, we have now. That Slaughter Games gives us some hope.
And think in response. Interesting. Go for it. That leaves a think in the yard, which is a possible bait for Adam Percy.
Yep. I mean, I'm not sure, I don't even know if Adam knows that negate's in his deck list because we didn't see it in the second game. Hasn't seen it so far. But if he does take negate, we at least have some hope. But based on the fact that the negate, we took Revelation. All right. Maybe a little late for that.
For those of you who are just joining us, I'm Adrian Sullivan here with Patrick Sullivan, and we're watching the match here of Nicholas Spagnolo with Esper Planeswalkers versus Adam Percy playing a 4-color mid-range deck. And as you put it, these are, what, a Dune Brood?
Dune Brood Ramp.
Dune Brood Ramp. There we go, from Adam Percy.
2 Drown Yard activations at the end of the turn.
3 mana. Sphere.
The 2 Restoration Angels. Doing that just to get rid of a, stray Keswick Wolf Run, now no longer having to worry about that.
Thragtusk. Thragtusk works. 38 life. Drown you, drown you. 6 cards go away. Untap. Ultimate price. Nicholas minus effect on Adam Percy's creatures. Adam looks for a miracle, doesn't find it, finds a land, in with the Thragtusk, I believe.
2 Aristocrats that are locked out by those Curse of Death holds.
He points to the Thragtusk, indicating the Jace trigger.
And Spagnolo just taking his lumps and falling to 8, it looks like.
It's only 2 damage from the Thragtusk.
Yep.
Oh boy, milieu. Lose 12.
There it is.
I love that. The setting up the land so that all of the mills are in little piles.
Yep. That was a pleasure to watch the efficiency with which Nicholas Spagnolo went about his business.
Yeah, I'm a big fan. I've been a fan of Nicholas Spagnolo for a very long time. One of my favorite players I think I first met him at a U.S. Nationals, but I'm not sure. It's been many years now.
Yeah. So, pretty convincing victory there. I mean, the one turning point of that game is whether or not Adam Slaughter Games a turn earlier than he did.
Yeah.
I do feel that given that he had Thragtusk and Huntmaster he actually had some durability against sweepers. He could fight through Terminus or Supreme Verdict in their hand. What he couldn't fight through was just a draw 6.
Yeah.
And so maybe it's worth taking one turn off.
I mean, we saw him have that patience earlier when he held off Thragtusking so he could Dreadbore and then lay a Huntmaster. I thought that displayed the kind of play that he wanted to be doing a little bit later in the game. Take a turn off, slaughter games, and just put a nail in that Sphinx's Revelation